How do I do the tag? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is episode 3 of No Swoop Black Girl, and it's coming along really good. Like, I'm enjoying this. I get to talk to my people and stuff because Nicole is far away from us now, all the way in New York. But I'm really excited to have you here just because we've had so many conversations about different things and like gone to different events together and stuff. So I think that you have so much to say, especially with you being an advocate for mental health and it's Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's really helpful also. And it's just so many things going on with young Black girls right now.
Yes, it is.
I've been following this story about the girl in Michigan being sent to the children's home because of her homework and all that. And like, so trying to balance it out. But I can tell you more about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please.
But I'm going to introduce everybody to Mrs. Conway, and she's amazing. She's helped me through some crises before. She is definitely a supporter of Black women, Black things, Black girls, and she was always like full of life and just making sure that everybody is doing well emotionally and mentally. So also she does fashion too, so we're going to talk about these things also. But I'm going to let you talk more about yourself and introduce yourself because you know yourself better than me.
Okay. My name is Nicole Conway. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, but I moved to Austin, Texas when I was 10. And I was in Austin for 40 years. I have 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, and we have relocated to New York City a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been an adventure.
Yes. I'm sure.
So my background, I am a fashion stylist. I sell accessories. I do virtual styling because I can't do it in people's homes. I do closets, cleaning out closets, getting rid of things that you don't need. But what I've noticed that over the years, the stuff that I do in people's closet is basically a platform for me in my ministry and helping others through mental illness. Because when you think about cluttered closets in your mind and how you process things, if you're not paying attention to your surroundings before you know it, your closet is cluttered. You have things in there you no longer need. You've outgrown them, or they have tags on them and they're just sitting there. So processing through our minds as well as relating it to our closets. Sometimes we have to get rid of the things we don't need anymore, whether it's clothing, it could be friends, attitudes, a job. It just depends. So it's really a segue into what I really love to do. So I love fashion, and I'm a mental health advocate because of my experiences with mental illness. I was diagnosed with depression many years ago. I was between the ages of 20 and 30 when this happened. I had 2 young daughters watching me go through this craziness, and I didn't know what it was. And we speak about it a lot, that in the Black community, we don't talk about mental illness. We don't talk about anxiety. We don't talk about depression, bipolar. We make jokes about it like it's not real, but it's very real. Just like any other disease, whether it be cancer or heart disease, it may not be as great, but it can cause you your life. So those 2 avenues are huge for me. So I have made that my life work.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
I want to start off with the mental health aspect also, just because of the month that it is, and it's just really important, especially in this time when people are isolated. We can't really do too much, and I know, like me as an adult, like I'm naturally introverted, so I don't mind sitting in the house. Like even once everything open up, I guarantee I'll probably still be sitting. I'm very much one go out once a month and you may see me the next month. But for our young people, we have talked to a couple young girls and, just asking them like, how are you feeling currently? And I think I have put some things down about like, are you spending time with family? Like, are you losing your mind right now? How are you? And most of them were pretty much like, I'm staying in my room. isolating myself, like family is annoying them a little bit. So those things were kind of concerning because I'm like, what is your outlet other than social media? And you can only FaceTime so much with your friends. So I just want to get like what your feelings are about that, and like maybe what are some things that young girls can do at this time when it's so limited.
A big thing I've noticed that with social media, that's something that they gravitate to. There's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and that can add on to your depression and your anxiety. Listening to the numbers of how many people have died because of COVID, it's just a lot to take as an adult, but I can only imagine for a teenager because they're always together. They know what community is when it's time to get together and hang out. Finding things to do, like go for a walk. Get up in the morning and go for a walk. Make a routine where you make a list of things that you're going to do every day. It's easy to get up and just wear your pajamas all day and hang around the house, but sometimes dress up. Yeah. Dress up. Make you some lunch and have a little candlelight and some music. I mean, it's just different things. We have to be creative. And because we have to stay in, I'm opposite of you. I'm an extreme extrovert. I love people and bring it in. I love all of that. So I'm actually kind of not dealing well with this. I have learned to get used to this. But for the most part, I make a routine. I get up in the morning. I do my prayer or whatever it is, meditation. For teenagers, you may want to journal. You may want to write down your thoughts. Some people you don't want to talk to, you don't feel comfortable, so you write your thoughts down. I get up, I make my coffee after that, and then I start my day, whether it's packing packages of shades that I'm shipping out or working on some things that I'm trying to connect with NAMI here in New Jersey. But you have to make a list. And you have to make a list to the point, like if you have 10 things on your list, don't try to do all 10. Do 5. You got time. So, I mean, where are you going? So for me, I make a list and I don't try to get it all done because there's always another day. Another day will take care of itself. So go on walking, meet your friends on the street, and maybe you guys, I mean, it's kind of hot in Texas. I mean, maybe we'll scratch that one. But like with my friends, we get together and we have FaceTime and we sit and talk about what's going on with our lives, and we, boost each other up. We have a happy hour. Y'all don't need to have happy hours, but we have happy hours, and 5 or 6 of us get together. Or you may want to call it a happy hour. You guys have make your little mix, something, some fruit punch or whatever, and y'all sit and talk. Like, because we miss out on communicating because we can't go out and sit with somebody and talk to them. But there's so many things now that you can do where you can communicate with people. So there's no excuse. Learn a new language. If you don't know Spanish, this is a good time to learn Spanish. I'm too old. I'm not learning Spanish. I live in a community. With 99.95% Spanish-speaking people, and I don't speak Spanish.
Has anybody spoken Spanish to you yet?
They think I'm Cuban,
yes.
And they walk up to me and speak Spanish to me every time, and I'm like, poquito, that's all I got for you. I let Louis speak Spanish. I'm not. So, right. But you can learn a new language while you're at home. If you, some people, like back in the day, we had to learn how to type. That was just something an elective. Take a typing class. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to expand yourself. Maybe you want to start a business. You're never too young to start a business. A friend of mine's daughter, she's helping her start a lip gloss business at 10. So she starts now planting those seeds and learning business and how to do it. By the time she's older, I mean, she doesn't have to work for anybody but herself. Yeah. Think of different things that you can do to improve you. Don't waste the time that you have extra, because I was talking to somebody before that we wasted all this time before saying, I wish I was at home. I got things I need to take care of at home. Same with you guys. The things you've been saying you want to do them. Make a list of things to do. I mean, you don't have to just, social media is not everything. Unplug from it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for those tips. Yeah, I have to follow some of those myself. I mean, some days it is easier than others, but definitely on some of those days, I'm like, I need to make sure I get up, even though I'm feeling tired or whatever. Like, at least just get up, take a shower, change your clothes. Like, do that.
Brush your teeth and wash your face.
Yes, definitely. So, in getting to know you, like, I've heard your story from back when you were a young Black girl. So with you saying that you were diagnosed between the ages of 20 and 30, that's when you got your diagnosis. So
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about like when you were 11, 12, like were there things that you feel like now when you look back you notice them, or certain challenges that you did deal with at that stage?
When I was younger, I was very awkward. I wore these huge glasses. I had a flipped hairdo. I was extremely proper. I spoke very proper English because I lived in Seattle. And then my mother brought me to Texas where everybody has a little twang and a little countryness. So when I heard somebody say ain't, I'm like, what is that? Like, and they looked at me like I was crazy, but it was a different culture. So when I came here, I went to, when I came there, L.L. Campbell. Back in the day, it's Campbell now, but it used to be L.L. Campbell in the hood. And there were a lot of Black kids there. I wasn't used to that because I grew up in a private school. And when I came, I had a bully. And she was extremely tall. She was bigger than anybody in the school. And she used to take me around and other people. She used to take this one girl that she was bullying to the bathroom and make her drink out of the toilet. And she made me come so I could watch. Like, if you do something wrong, you're next. So she scared me. I was terrified when I was in 5th and 6th grade. And then the thing of, I played the flute and I just didn't fit in with the other kids. I never had a fight. That was my first fight. They made us fight. They pushed us into each other. So dealing with feeling insecure about myself, not having the confidence, being compared to my younger sister that she was fair skinned. I was dark. I had the tighter hair. I'm not going to call it nappy. The tighter hair and hers was long. Our community would look at her and say, oh, she's so pretty. And then I would just kind of feel left out. So growing up with that feeling of not being enough, that bothered me. Having a bully added on to it, coming from Seattle to Texas, and just not being poured into like I thought I should have been when I was younger. I just felt like an outcast. And people tell me in high school now that I was very popular, but I wasn't. I was kind of like behind the scenes around popular friends. I had a popular boyfriend, I had a popular friend, and I was just kind of behind the scenes. And I always felt that I was second best. So dealing with that, just the insecurities and not the confidence and self-esteem, the self-love, just rolled into my adult livelihood. So it's very important as teenagers that if you do need help, if you do need to speak to somebody, this is the best time because it does not stop. It increases. When you keep pressing that stuff down, it's like a pressure cooker and it just pops because there's nowhere for the person to breathe anymore and deal with whatever issues you've had as a child. And then some people don't know that maybe you've been molested or, somebody touched you inappropriately or whatever the situation is. You have to talk about that. It's so important. Don't feel like you're less than or that everybody's going to judge you. Get the help you need. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like that has definitely been an issue, like with me working in the career that I work in and field, but also growing up too, like as our generations, come around, like we're learning more and more like, Lord, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't talk about. And so now, while all these other groups of people, maybe they have been talking about it, like within the Black community, I'm like, we are behind on some things. Like we should be talking to young girls about their bodies, about their mental health, about, how they feel emotionally instead of allowing it to just simmer in. And then when we get called to schools and things like that, because somebody done went off, all we have is consequences for them.
That's right.
Like trying to figure out what the issue is or anything like that. So I'm glad that you went into depth about that, because I know there are lots of Black girls that, like, when it comes to the colorism, how their hair looks, because there's a lot of pressure right now when it comes to the lace front wigs and the eyelashes and the makeup, how you contour your face. I'm like, the fact that y'all have time to do all of this.
That's what I'm not understanding. I don't.
Like, okay. But yeah, it definitely, I can see it being much more triggering now, especially with social media. Like, even when I was in high school, we had Black Planet, and that was towards the end of high school.
You went way back.
Right. So, you know, moving up into this age of Facebook, and now it's just like everything is everywhere. It's like it's so much stuff being pushed out, and it's kind of like you don't even know who to be, and it's like you really should just be yourself, but then you don't feel good enough about that, so you trying to be 50 different people, and it's like those people aren't even those people that you
right. It's all up front.
Yeah. So with that, can you give us a little bit about how you kind of came out of that, like going into the fashion and becoming the mental health advocate, things like that?
Okay, so for the fashion thing, that came a little later in life. My kids were just a little older, and I heard about a group called Curve Appeal. It was for plus size girls to teach them about confidence, how to dress, how to put correct foundation on for the curvier ones, just makeup, just different things about yourself that to build up your confidence. So it was more like almost like a club, and we had a national reach. And each state had their own teams and stuff. So we would come to a national conference. They would teach us how to walk on a runway, how to carry ourselves, the foundation. They taught us all kinds of stuff that we just maybe weren't sure of or we weren't confident. And then we just built each other up. That group is not together anymore, but everybody did something different after that. Some people did makeup. Some people did hair. Some people actually did following the things was modeling. For me, it was more for confidence and to feel good about myself at the size that I was, at the age I was. A lot of the ladies were a lot younger than me. I was probably the oldest one in the group, but I said I didn't care. I was kicking the ceiling out and showing people that it doesn't matter your age or your size, that you can do anything you want. And it wasn't so much the modeling thing. That was just kind of a pathway for me to see, you know, I need this for myself. And then instilling that in my children, because they could see when I was hurt and broken and they didn't understand what was going on with mommy. So the thing, as far as my mental health is concerned, I had 3 nervous breakdowns between the ages of 20 and 30. I ended up in the hospital the last time. Well, I went all 3 times, but the last time I stayed there the longest. But I had been there so long. I was there at least 2 weeks on the section of the hospital where there's closed off to everybody else. I said at that time, because it was such a dark space there, that when I get out, I said, God, if you get me out of here, I will commit my life to helping people in the darkness. And that's what I've done. I don't care if you're inboxing me, texting me, calling me, whatever. I'm going to try to help you get the resources you need, because there's no reason to say, I don't need any help, or you just keep sweeping things under the carpet, because it just gets bigger and bigger. And it's a big elephant in the room. I know you see it. You can't ignore that. And then a lot of your peers will tell you, oh, ain't nothing wrong with you or our community. You're fine. That's just a spirit. Get to the church and we're going to pray that away. No, it's not a spirit. It is a chemical imbalance. It is not a spirit. Don't let them tell you that. Don't let them make you feel that you are crazy because you may have to take medication or you may have to seek a therapist. And let me tell you, right now is the best time to look for teletherapy, because it's free. Free 99 is what I always say. Free 99. Go get you some therapy. It can be in your room while you're talking to the person on the screen, but it's free, especially during this time of pandemic. Take advantage of it now, because when it's over, that may change. So this is the best time to get it while you have the time.
Yeah, definitely. My friends laugh at me all the time, man. Don may still be here, but I always tell her, I'm like, all Black people need to go to therapy. And when she first heard it from me, she was like, well, I was like, okay. I'm like,
that's real talk.
All Black people need to go to therapy. It is a necessity. That is going to keep us together because we have to get this out somewhere. Some stuff is, from us coming up. Some stuff is just generational stuff that we just carry on with us. Like, we have to get this out somewhere. And us, like, it's good to have conversation with other Black people, but we can't, like,
we can't fix it ourselves. Right. Because if you're talking to somebody broken and you broken, that's two broken people together. What y'all doing?
Right. We just sharing each other's stuff together. Just mixing it all up and it's not going nowhere. So, yes, I definitely appreciate that. And even, like, when you helped me, and I had remembered our conversation we had because some people know, not everybody knows, but that's part of the reason I did create the Rose Project is because I also have my own mental health issues. I spent 7 days at the mental hospital, and let me tell you, I told myself I do not belong here. Like, get it together, Nina, because
it will make you snap out of it real quick.
It's a whole nother world from working with the people and then you being one of the people. Okay,
and then when you get with somebody that is truly completely gone, you're like, okay, I think I'm all right.
Yes.
Let me get out of here quickly.
Yes. But when I had called you and it was like kind of crisis and I was like, I'm really feeling like all over the place. Like, I don't know what's happening. And you had told me like, if you have to go back, that's okay. And I think that's also like a stigma that Black people have is like, if you have been to the hospital or something, it's like, oh, she crazy. Like, she was over in the hospital or whatever. But that, when you said that, I was like, oh, I guess like that isn't a bad thing. Because when I left, I'm not going back there. Like, But when you said like, if you need to go back, like, go and take that rest. You need to go back then. And so I think that definitely changed some of my mind also when it came to mental health and how I looked at myself and having to do that. That time that I spent there and knowing that it's okay if it's basically like a relapse. If you got to go back and do it again, then that's what you have to do to get yourself together. So I definitely appreciate that word. It's like stuck with me since we had that conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
So in speaking about like Black girls when it comes to fashion, so I was having conversation with somebody. We're talking about like the differences when Black girls wear certain clothes and then when white girls wear certain clothes because of how Black girls' bodies are shaped. They may have, more hips, things like that. And Serena Williams is a good example of that.
Yes, she is.
On her skirts and things like that. What would you say to young Black girls that are like in middle school and high school? They're a little more curvy and comments are being made. Even though they have on the exact same outfit as the girl down the hallway, but for whatever reason, they get all the comments.
I was thinking about this earlier, and not so much that per se, but what we dress for our body types. Mm-hmm. So, there's fads that come out all the time. And I know the younger generation, as soon as they see something new come out, oh, we getting that. I got to have that. Mm-hmm. But all of us are not shaped for that style. So like the fad of the skinny jeans, when they very first came out, I remember everybody was big girls, little girls, everybody was buying the skinny jeans. Mm-hmm. But all bodies don't look good in the skinny jeans. Whether you're skinny or you're a big girl, because this is the problem. The skinny girls, some of them in the skinny jeans look too skinny. And if they have an issue of their body and that they feel like they're too skinny, that ain't the pair of jeans you should be buying. Mm-hmm. For the plus size girl, they buy it. And if it cuts off, it makes it look like their legs are being cut off in it. That ain't for them. So you have to go by what your body type is. And yes, we are curvier. We usually have small waist. No matter how big or small we have small waist and big hips. So the mini skirt, let's just use that. The mini skirt, our skirts are going to be a lot shorter than what they are going to be on our vanilla people. They're going to be extremely perfect on them. Nothing showing, no thighs. You ain't got to worry about thighs because you just got legs. For us, you got these big thighs, this big butt, and it brings more attention to you. So you have to be careful of what you wear. So If you're not sure about what looks good on your body, you should take a friend. I always say phone a friend when you're going shopping, because that way you need the one that's going to be honest. Girl, you know that looks wrong on you. That's the friend you take. You don't take the friend, oh, that's cute, you should get that, because it's the style. You take the brutally honest friend with you when you go shopping. If it's too short, if your boobs are hanging out too much, it's just too much, because guess what? That turns into not only, oh, we know we look better than they look in this, but it also brings negative attention to you, as far as older men looking at you inappropriately or touching you in a way you don't want to be touched. So you really have to dress in what looks good for your body type. And then you also have to dress in a way that you are a young lady. You don't want anybody touching you inappropriately. You have to dress the way you want to be addressed. So that's very important. So whatever the style is, I'm a big proponent of, I don't care about what season it came out in. I don't care if it's thrifted, vintage. If it looks good on me, then I'm going to wear it. But if it's just because it's a fad, I don't always go for fads. I may see something in a fad group. I may pull one thing out of that. I'm going to mix it with some old stuff. I mean, I just create my own thing on what looks good on me, not what everybody else is wearing. I can't wear Beyonce's clothes, so I'm not gonna go out and try to find some, or nor I'm gonna have anybody make me anything that she's wearing. Mm-hmm. That's not my body type. You have to be very aware of what your body type is and what looks good on your body type.
Yeah. And I had just saw a post. A girl had made a post about Fashion Nova and their clothing. And I know a lot of young girls, like, they love Fashion Nova, and I just be like, y'all do know this is like rainbow, right? Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm not.
Let's be clear,
right? So, but she was just talking about how their body type is literally made for girls that have had surgery, and she was showing the difference between how a woman with her regular natural body looks, and then how people have changed their bodies to where their hips are disproportionate. Like, it's not even a possible. The body isn't real. Like, how they have the shape from where the navel is moved to how the hips are lower than the navel. It was like, your body isn't even supposed to be shaped like this, and yet Fashion Nova makes the clothes so that they do.
Wow.
So you have all these young girls thinking that this is the norm, like this is what it is. I'm like, they don't even have these bodies normally. Like, this is an impossible way for your body to be. And they go and get all this surgery, and stuff is pushed up, brought down,
crooked. But you have to have surgery to buy the Fashion Nova clothes, and the other thing is the quality. Mm-hmm. If you're buying something that's not quality, when you wash it, it's going to disintegrate in the washing machine. So why would you buy something you can't wear multiple times, or, you know, it's not. You're not going to just wear it. It's not a disposable thing. Mm-hmm. I've never shopped Fashion Nova, and I'm all right with it.
Yeah. He is altered too. Yes. Yeah. So just trying to, even when I thinking about that, when it comes into that, goes into saving money and things like that. Like, are you buying clothes that are going to last you a long time, or are you just buying something? Like, I definitely, when I was clubbing and stuff like that in my early 20s, like, I definitely went and bought the quick cheap shirt to put on that night, knowing it's not gonna last after tonight. So
you're gonna sweat it off.
Yeah, definitely have those moments, but also just getting older and knowing, like, you need these certain pieces in your closet for when you're going to work, or if you have whatever event you're going to. So just trying to put that in young girls' brains too. Like, you have goals that you're trying to reach, and you're not going to go to the club every day. So we need to find more diverse clothing in your closet.
Yes, yes. You need a section for interviews.
Yes. So my last topic I have for you is with you and Mr. Lewis Conway, because you guys talk about your love and, like, healthy relationships. So can you tell me, like, with your relationship with him and coming from what you remember as a young girl, were there times where you were given relationship advice, or how did you get to that place of, like, this is what healthy love is, this is what this is supposed to look like?
Well, for me, growing up, I grew up in a single-parent household up until I was, maybe 13. Mm-hmm. And that's when my stepdad came into our lives. So I was able to see what a healthy relationship looks like. So that helped me a lot. as far as now. So watching my mom and dad, how they interacted, how they had a good time. They still went out on dates. They cooked for each other, the whole nine. But the main thing is not settling. That's the biggest thing. I have been married before, but I feel like I got married because I wanted to be married. It wasn't, I mean, I loved him, but I just wanted to be safe. I wanted to feel secure. All the things that come with marriage. I wanted the wedding. You want all this fairy tale stuff that you see growing up, and you think, oh, I get this house, this with the picket fence and 2.5 kids and this car, and I'm just, I'm this, but it's not that. I'm sorry, it's not. And if you are going to get it, you need to invest in someone, yourself and the other person, that are of the same mind. Lewis and we both have a history of, mine is mental health, his is being incarcerated. So, but they're both forms of incarceration because it's being in jail in your mind. So for us, it was like two people coming together. Now, don't get me wrong. It ain't beautiful and roses and daisies all the time, and we're running through the fields with these flowers. We still have issues. We still have to unpack each other's suitcases. Whether it's from our past, if it's something from a previous relationship, we have to be careful with each other to make sure, you know what, I'm going to be patient with her because she has some things she's dealing with, and I'm going to help her unpack her suitcase. And it has to be both sides. It can't just be one side. We both suffered from previous trauma, and that was being incarcerated, being in the mental institution. So you just have to think about all those things that you have to unpack together. And if you can commit to someone that will commit to you, I always hear, back in the day when we were younger, it was like, well, you got to submit to this man. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that came to my mind is, I ain't submitting to nobody but God. Listen, I can take my own trash out. We go through all that. I can do this myself. I can change my own light bulb in my refrigerator filter. I don't need a man. So the thing of that is, when you find someone that you are equally yoked to, then it's okay to submit to them because they submit to God first and then to you. So that's how the family comes together. And we're from a blended family. I have 2 adult daughters, and he has 4 kids on his side. So they're a lot younger than my kids. So we had to bring that together. And it's a lot of combining of everything. And it's give or take. It's communication. It took us a minute. Like during this pandemic, we've learned a lot about communicating.
I'm sure.
Because there was days like, I don't care if he don't talk to me, whatever. Who you talking to? In my head, I'm just not one to like to go back and forth. Who is he talking to? I don't care if he don't talk to me all day, whatever. I mean, so we've had our moments. Mm-hmm. And what I realized in the communicating for me was, you have all these ideas and thoughts in your head, and if it doesn't come out your mouth, it comes out in pieces, and the other person is supposed to guess what it is you're thinking or what it is you want, and then you say it, and it's like, you didn't tell me everything. What's going on? What's the real story? So I'm learning to communicate better because I was independent for so long. So it was like, my mind is going 500 in one direction, and he's thinking about something else. So when I come in, so it's just about give or take with each other. You have to be patient. You have to be equally yoked. You have to be willing to give to the other person and the other person give back. So all that fairy tale, you think, ooh, I'm gonna marry somebody that's rich, he's gonna take care of me. That takes work to get to that point. You don't just automatically wake up, oh, when I graduate, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna get my 4 years in, and after I graduate, I'm gonna get my ideal job, I'm gonna get my house and my husband. You think of all those things that you see on TV and think that's what it is, but that's not reality.
Yeah.
Just like them girls in them clothes on Fashion Nova. That's not reality.
Oh, somebody said they have interview attire. I have to go back and look at
that. Okay. Yes. Appropriate interview attire.
So when it comes to young girl, I know one thing that I see, which is a common thread, whether I'm at work or I'm just doing community work, is, oh my gosh, the young girls are very aggressive when it comes to this dating, or having their boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. I remember having a time where I was talking to, it was like a couple, and we were at a football game or something. And so he was like, oh, somebody text me, I need to check my phone. And she turned around and she said, you mean check our phone? I said,
whoa.
I said, be like 15 years old. And it just took me by surprise. I said, well, that was aggressive towards him. Like,
yeah, you're gonna run him off.
So, what would you say to young Black girls when it comes to dating? Because there's a lot of possessiveness that goes on, especially now with social media and things, especially when you're seeing like different younger celebrities that are on social media and they're like fighting one day and then the next day they're on IG Live hugged up. And it's just like so unhealthy, but it's so normalized that when we're trying to talk to young Black girls, like, I know that this is what you're used to, but this is what it should look like. What would be your tips or your advice to give to them in regards to dating and finding like what healthy love is or healthy like is when it comes to, teenage years?
First of all, I wouldn't look to Jay-Z and who else is it? All the people that are in these relationships, Jada Pinkett Smith, bless their heart. All of those people that you see in the media that are very popular and everybody looks up to, and you say, oh, I want to be my relationship like them. That's great to aspire to that, but is that a reality? My biggest thing, first of all, is patience. If you don't have any patience and you're not waiting, and I know it's old school, the man is supposed to chase you. Make them work for it. Make them take you to the movies. Make them send you a pizza to your house while you're in the pandemic. Make them do different things like that to test if they are really loyal to you or, what type of integrity they have. Because if you don't set up boundaries from the very beginning, they are going to treat you the way you present yourself. If you present yourself like, oh, she's easy, guess what? They're going to take advantage of that. They are visual. Men are visual. They see what they want. They go after it, and if you give it up easy and then they don't want to be bothered, then it's like, well, what did I do? Well, you gave it up, and you took the chase out of him chasing after you because he's interested in you. Don't let him be interested in just sleeping with you. Because when you look at the bigger scheme of things, just picture a trash can, a big trash can, like the ones that you dump in the big dumpsters. You are the dumpster, and they have the trash, and they're dumping on you. So after they dump on you, they've emptied their trash, they're off to the next one. Make them chase after you. Make them come around. You want to come to my house? Okay, my parents will be in the living room. We can sit here at the bar and talk. Test them in those different areas. I always heard the thing of you attract to you who you are. And I've had people buck me and say, no, you don't. No, you. Yeah, you do. If you are thinking about, okay, and be careful of the things that you say out of your mouth. When you say, oh, I want a boyfriend, that's not very specific. You're just saying you want a boyfriend. So guess what? You are going to attract just a boyfriend. You didn't say, I want one that's loyal. I want one with integrity. I want one that's going to respect me. You're going to get exactly what you asked for. But if you make your intentions, you set your intentions that you want those things just like you are, then that's what will come flinging at you. If you just say, oh, I just need a man in my life, that's exactly what you're going to get. And then you want, well, I don't know what I did. What's wrong? Be careful what comes out of this mouth. Because we speak stuff into our atmosphere. We manifest the things that we speak about. So be very careful and very intentional about what it is that you want when you're opening your mouth.
There's so much good stuff in this interview. I gotta write down myself.
You're like,
Yeah. But I do want to get into if you have anything current that's coming up. What projects are you working on? I know you mentioned the sunglasses, so we got to bring the sunglasses back. And I got mine. I got to take a picture with them so I can post them. Also.
Yes, you do. So since this is another way of when you want to expand being an entrepreneur. It could be somebody that's watching. Maybe you want to sell shades. Maybe you want to sell lipstick, or everybody has their own thing. Everybody's selling eyelashes and lace front wigs. The thing is, you see your friends. Well, my friend is selling eyelashes. Don't worry about her selling eyelashes. You have a different customer clientele. Maybe that's something you want to do, and they do. There's not a competition. Don't make it a competition. For me, I have always sold some type of accessories. When I was younger and I was raising my kids by myself, I used to sell jewelry. I didn't sell it for anybody. It wasn't paparazzi. I was paparazzi before there was a paparazzi. I bought things wholesale and then I sold them. I sold them to my friends if they wanted to have a party at their house. I mean, you have to be creative in what you want to do. I would go to their houses, do a pop-up. Whoever was having the party at their house, I would give them a couple gifts when I'd sell all my stuff. Now I've kind of brought it down to sunglasses. And the reason I started selling sunglasses is because when I would go out, everybody was like, "Oh, your sunglasses are so cute. Where'd you get them from?" Everywhere I went, it was the same thing. And I'm like, you know what, baby, I need to sell sunglasses. So I started selling sunglasses, and it has just gone through the roof. I pick the ones that I know look good on me, because I noticed that when I wear them, people want to buy them. So you can become an influencer on your page. I mean, that's something you can do with your business. Become an influencer. Like, I will wear a friend of mine's earrings, and they were like, "I love your earrings. Where you get them from?" Now they are making earrings, and when I get on, I wear their earrings and I tell people where I got them from. So you can collab with other people instead of competing with other people. So I do shades, I do handbags sometimes. I have statement pieces that I wear, but I wear a lot of my friends' earrings. These are actually mine, but I wear a lot of friends' earrings, and I'll do lives from time to time with them. And I have a whole party, and I'm dancing and wearing the different shades and telling you what they look like. Mm-hmm. But it's all about the enthusiasm and what you put into your own business. So while you're out, this is a great time to figure out what you want to sell. Maybe you want to sell lip gloss, and then when school's back in, everybody will know you as the person that sells lip gloss. Be creative. This is the perfect age now to start, whether you're an adult or a teenager, to figure out what it is that you have a passion for. I love fashion. And it's not because I was a model. I just like to take the time out, because I'm a plus girl, to wear the things that look good for my size. So then when people come to me, then I can help them virtually. They tell me what color they want, what sizes they have, or they say, "You know what, I just want you to pick what you do because I like how you dress." That's all I need. I get out there and I find all their stuff virtually. I email it to them. We pay each other out, and it's over. Or if they're doing a photo shoot, I can prepare them for that. But you need to find out what your passion is. What makes you smile every time you say, "Oh, I can't wait to go to the thrift store," or "I can't wait." I mean, because I walk in the store and it's like heaven when it opens up. I get excited. That's my playground. Like, for some people, they're artists and they paint and they get excited. That's what I get excited about. Excited about not only the person looking good on the outside, because I help them on the outside, but some people need help on the inside. So it's a two-way street for me.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. And so our last question, which we ask everybody at the end, is, what would your notes be to a Black girl or your young Black girl self? Like, what notes would you give now?
I would say, be patient with myself. Forgive myself for the things that I feel that nobody should know, because if not, they follow you over into your adult life. Fix your stank attitude, because Black girls do get stank attitudes, believe it or not, and it comes out in everything that we do, and we'll lose jobs because we don't. And when you're going into a relationship, ask for discernment and be careful on who you decide to bring into your life. It makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. That one I should have been working on a while back. But life lessons you learn and then you do better.
Oh, and the other one is you are worthy and you are enough. No matter if you are a size 0 or a size 26, you are worthy and you are enough. And don't let anybody tell you anything different.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate you coming, Nicole. Like, I love you. I hate you not.
I love you too, girl. I miss you too. I miss anybody at this point. I'm so tired of being in this house. Like,
yes. But I want you to give out your info so that people can, that are watching now or come back and watch later so they can know to follow you, where to find you at.
Okay, so on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, I am Nicole Conway Speaks on all three. I have a YouTube channel which is under Nicole R. Conway. There are some other Nicole Conways, but they don't look like me, if you know what I mean. And I'm at the top, okay? That's why I put an R in the middle. So you can find my YouTube channel. I have different discussions about fashion, about mental illness. Some of them are just like a perk up, perk up moment. I need to start doing some more things about fashion. Oh, the other thing we were talking about, you asked me, what am I working on? So because it's Minority Mental Health Month, I've been interviewing a few of my friends and people that I've known about mental health. I will be working on the next one. I want to do one with my husband because for being formerly incarcerated and dealing with mental health in prison. So that's the next one I'm going to do. Yeah, and then I'm trying to get my daughter, once I get her situated, I want her to come on and speak about what it is to deal with a parent that has mental health issues. So, her from her eyes when she was a teenager, saw me going through all that. But yes, and if you want to follow me for fashion, my page is Coco's Image. It's COCOSIMAGE on Instagram, and it's Coco's Image on Facebook, but you got the apostrophe S in this space.
I appreciate you so much for taking the time out today. And
absolutely.
And I get to see your face, so
yes, we need to do this ourselves more often. We're telling them that they should do it. We need to do it too.
I know. I need to come to y'all happy hour. That's something I have to do.
Yes. Yes.
But I appreciate everybody for watching tonight. We do it every Wednesday at 6:00. And we'll be here on the Rose Project ATX, and then each week I will update the other person's IG handle. So thank y'all for watching.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.